Welcome to part 2 of my No Man's Sky Permadeath series. In the first part we made very good progress. We were able to repair the ship relatively easily, and then we took advantage of a bounty ship appearing to fly to this planet, which is turning out to be a very pleasant planet. I'll talk a little bit more about that as we go forward. And the game now wants us to follow the signal source there, which will take us into a base building tutorial. But in this video I want to do something else, which I'll explain also in a minute. Now, one thing I want to do is give you guys a little bit of an update, just to do what's going on with the release, and also the theme that I wanted to introduce with this playthrough. And that theme, as I said in the part 1, was that I want to be more of a traveller and have a bit more focus to this playthrough, head towards the centre of the galaxy, explore other galaxies. And I've had a little bit of think about this, and a couple of your comments put ideas into my head. And what I've actually done is come up with 3 extra constraints which I'm going to try and stick to. The first one is I'm not going to get a second ship until I've got the freighter, because I want this to be very much about the traveller surviving. The next one is that once I get the freighter, I want to make that into my primary base. That's where I'm going to put my refining, and if there's any little bit of farming, and also the food production. So the idea is that the freighter, capital vessel, what you want to call it, will become the survival mechanism on the journey. And that spins into the concept of trading. And I think maybe the trading in the beginning will be more like a mobile peddler, picking up resources, manufacturing resources, and selling them off as we go along. But of course I'm going to need to get a freighter to do that. Now the last one, some of you guys may not actually agree with this, but it's something that I thought about with my survival campaign. And what I want to do in this playthrough is restrict myself to one type of each ship. So as we go through, it means I'm going to have one shuttle, one fighter, one explorer, one hauler, one unique ship. And what I always want to do, is possible, is leave one spare slot. So as the freighter as we move forward the freighter, we still may get the occasional alien ship land on the freighter. So that's what I want to do. Now I'm aware that if I accidentally get 6 ships by mistake, then life's going to be a bit of a problem anyway. Now moving on, a big thank you for all your comments and feedback, guys. Very, very worthwhile, very much appreciated. If any of you guys watched part 1, I had a feeling, in fact I was a little bit embarrassed, because it was a very easy start. Look at those god rays coming through the trees. That's fantastic. They've really improved the graphics in this playthrough. Yeah, what Sabatsu said was that it's made easier, and I kind of reflected on that, and what he said was that maybe they're encouraging new players. And then I actually watched about the first 15-20 minutes of Zane doing a live stream where he was using VR, quite obviously for the first time, on a start. It was a normal start, but it was very interesting to see that someone like Zane, who's a very experienced No Man's Sky player, struggling to come to terms with VR. And that's what makes sense about maybe Hello Games have taken the decision to make the start a bit easier, because I think anyone who's trying to do it in VR could get very frustrated very quickly if they were just dropped in with a fairly tough start, because even in Next, the normal start had its challenges. Now moving on, now Snafu posted a comment about the crashed ships. The fact that in the next update they seem to disappear, and they were compared to like where if you go back to the beginning of No Man's Sky, you could literally stay on the first planet and leave the first planet with a fully upgraded ship. And his comment put an idea in me. So what I actually did is I started flying across the planet looking for a transmission tower to see if it would point me to a crashed ship. And I didn't find a transmission tower, but if I turn around, I did find a crashed ship, purely by accident. I was literally flying across, and I've actually found this hauler here, and I thought, well, this is too good an opportunity to pass up, and this is going to be the little bit of the sidetrack. And just to show you guys, this is I think it's a 25 slot. Let's just do a comparison. This makes it a bit easy. You can see we've got a 25 slot hauler. It's got a lot of damaged slots, which is a bit of an issue, and of course we're going to need to repair it. what I've actually done is I've had a look at the possibilities of repairing this, and we're going to have to be able to gather some ferrite and make some pure ferrite. Now the problem I'm going to have with this ship, if I do decide to claim it, as it says down here, is the fact that this is going to have a reduced number of slots until I can open up this area here. But more importantly, you can see my current ship's worth 385,000. This ship, abandoned ship, is worth 4.5 million. So this means this could be very useful as long as I can fix it. And what I've been doing is going through here. Now, chromic metal I can fix because I know full well on this planet there is copper, because that's part of the base building process. And there's magnetized ferrite here. We can fix that because as long as I gather ferrite, and I think there's salt on this planet as well. I mean, this radiation leak, paraffinium and pugnium, could be a bit more of a challenge. And the platinum we could get in space, but it's going to take a lot to get up to it. So I'm very tempted to get this ship, but you can see at the moment I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I've only got 5 slots here. So what I'm going to have to do first, I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm just going to have a look at my inventory. I've got a little bit of pure ferrite, not that much. I've got 3 slots in here. I've also picked up some Strider sausages. Now the reason I've got the Strider sausages is down to the fact that this planet has got a couple of hostile life forms on it, which could be a bit of a problem. And I think what I can do is, this isn't going to stack, so we're going to have to just transfer this to the exosuit and this to the exosuit. That will leave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I could dismantle this, but the trouble is it may give me something that may not be there. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go for this. I mean, it could be a mistake, and what we're going to do is compare. Of course, what we're going to do is just shunt this into here. You can see I've now filled this space up, and we're going to claim the ship. So this is now my new ship, and the visionary owl. Yeah, recharge immediately. And what we should be able to do, well, we can repair that. That would give me a bit more space. And of course, we need some pure ferrite now to make that, and we need some sodium nitrate. Comes from sodium. So what we're going to do is jump out. Of course, I'm now effectively grounded. Now, so far the Sentinels haven't been that much of a problem, and what we're going to do is drop in, and again, if I drop some carbon in there, and I don't think I've got some ferrite dust in there, so we're just going to go out there. Now there is a Sentinel hanging around here, so we're going to try and not aggravate him too much. And that's cobalt. There's some ferrite dust and salt there. Let's just grab a little bit of oxygen. And say this is going to be a slightly risky until I've got everything repaired. I mean, what I could do is, once I've got the basic repairs done, I could get out into space and, or not into space, what am I talking about? Right. Can we be a bit tricky with that Sentinel? He's coming this way, so we're going to have to grab that. And what we should be able to do now is, if I can get the basics repaired, like the right, we've got the dihydrogen. So we've now got the launch thrusters repaired, and we've got so we've now technically got the ability to take off. What I would like, so we got this there. So if I come into here, now the trouble is I mean, that's 2 to 1. Okay, let's just push out that. I don't know why I'm doing that. 30. Is that going to give me 30? Yeah. I'd just be a little bit more happier if I've got the photon cannons up and running. As I say, this is going to be crap, but a bit of a cramp on things here. Actually, I didn't pick these up. Okay, got some oxygen. That. I've got an ion battery. That could be a pain in the neck. Got some sodium nitrate. Yeah. Alright, dust. Got the oxygen. We can use up the oxygen. That can go to the exosuit. And then we're just gonna cut that. And we've got everything full. Just go. Yes, thank you. We'll have to repair the shield. So we've now got that fixed. What do I need for the shield? Yeah, we need chromic metal, and we can't get chromic metal until I've got to the base to get the terrain manipulator. We've got fuel for that. Got some microprocessor. Right, let's see if we can get this ship off the ground. The annoying twing twing sound in the background, guys, is quite literally due to the fact it's telling me that the shield is broken. Yeah, yes, we got sodium nitrates. I have to be a bit careful because I've actually consumed all my sodium. Oh no, I've got 170 sodium there. I think actually, oh yes, I remembered now. I actually split the sodium to make sure that I couldn't do it. Now I can't really afford to go up into space because I've got no shields. So we're going to have to take a little bit of a leisurely flight over, and what I'm going to do is throw out a scan just to see if we can see any other buildings. Because I was just flying across the surface like this looking for anything that would be useful. Now again, guys, I don't know if it's my imagination, but I don't know whether this update has actually improved the day-night cycle, because there seems to be a more distinct transition between the two. I want to go and check this unknown building here, because the more resources we can get on the way through, the better. I mean, the other thing with this ship is I don't have to repair every other slot, because once we actually get up on a space station, although to be honest, I have looked up around and I've got a feeling this system may not actually have a space station, which could be interesting. Well, this is a right. We've actually got some microprocessors, so I think we're going to just drop in on this space station and see if we can pick up anything. I mean, I may have been here before, so we can sell. I'm probably going to sell the Strider sausage and the microprocessor, and we've got these crystals here. You see, I've got the other thing. The main reason I was going around looking for bases and exploring the planet was to get some nanites and some cash, which is going quite well. I'm just going to get in here. We'll have a quick chat with these guys. I think somebody passed a comment about working on the language, and I do want to do it. I think we're just going to stick to requesting for instantly produces a data pad as though prepared at the moment or something. And just a friendship symbol. Okay, underneath each is a word of their language. Gives me the Greek word for help. I might need that. Okay, we'll just see what he's going to give me. A technology symbol could be useful. Word of their language. So we've actually got the get word for ship. And just grab him. As I said, I do really want to work on it. I certainly do not know what get yet meeting is. Keeps over me. Request dialect out. Aggression symbol. Word of their language. Get word for destroy. I think he's the last one. So we'll grab him. Oh, already learnt. So practice language skills. So I'm not too sure how this mechanic works. Every envoy notes encourages life to cease this transaction. See, it says, I recall some of the words that I've learnt. Seems disappointed to indicate the trader. I'm not sure how that mechanic works. I do wonder whether you've got to have the translator for that to work properly. Right, so we're going to sell the Strider sausages. I'm going to lose a bit of money on it, but it's not that big an issue. We'll sell the microprocessors. I don't think there's anything else here. I want to keep those crystal fragments for the moment. Ferrite dust. I'm going to buy the ferrite dust. I mean, it's simply because, and I'm going to buy the sodium as well, just that I don't have to run around hunting it. And we got some salt as well. That's expensive. And I've lost, where's my ship? Yeah, I mean, I know I could have mined the ferrite dust, but it's just easier. In fact, let's just see if there's anything up here. Right, we've got our first. Wow, okay. So we've got our first milestones. And obviously, I must have milestoned up and not noticed it. 104,000. Oh yeah. So we've now travelled over 8,000 units on foot. We've collected 6 words, and we've got the level there. Now the interesting thing I have noticed with this is that I was expecting to start this down here, but you actually start 3 levels up. I suppose this is to allow you to drop in rank should you do it again here. So I suppose that's why they've done it that way. I'm going to be really cheeky here, guys. I'm not expecting anything special, but this is what you can do. Now I've got a ship worth 4.5 million. I mean, what have we got here? Negotiate price. See, 1 million. See, because this ship is there. I mean, it's actually smaller. This is the dodge you can do. It says here I can exchange for 0 units. So what I could do is actually change to this ship, which is a 21 slot shuttle, and then it means I get all this straight away, and I don't have to repair the shields or anything like that, and I don't have to spend time fixing this. I'm very tempted, guys. The only trouble, it says this ship's trading price is 1.2, so I would lose money on it. The reason it's worth less is because it's damaged, but the only problem is we would get that range there, we'd get the shields fixed, we'd get the thrusters fixed. I'm gonna be honest, guys, I'm gonna go for it. And we can't actually yet deconstruct anything. Yeah, I'm going to do this, guys, because then it's going to save me the cost of actually having to fix all these slots. Yeah. Okay, my ship is down on the ground. Thank you, game. There's a ladder there. We've got to try the ladder out. Of course, what we're going to have to do now is... Hopefully I'm going to be able to take off, because this ship is actually buried in the leg. Break away, break away. Thank you. Let's actually have a look at the ship actually. So we've now got a fully functioning shuttle. We've got plenty of space on it now. We've got a bit more space than we had before, and we've got everything repaired. And this is going to be what now the rules now, according to the rules that I announced at the beginning of the video, what we'll be able to do is upgrade this shuttle over time, and that would be really great. So let's just keep flying in this direction. And we'll do the next part of the tutorial. And I'm just going to land. And gonna jump out. Let's have a check round, make sure there's. I think I've got those birds. Yeah, I have been scanning a few creatures off camera, guys. So, yes, I can hear you, Mr. Sentinel. Like, sparking wires of the machine generate a signal. Tapping out is broadcast into the void. Whoever left the message is long gone. Decipher signal. Decoding 16, 16, 16. Entry, no fuel in, failed to reach station. Hazard protection low, no choice but to underground deploy base computer. As well as the log entry, the signal contains the plans for a base computer and a terrain manipulator. Yes, that's exactly what I want, is the terrain manipulator more than anything else. We got new base computer, we need 40 chromic metal, and of course we need the terrain manipulator. Just going to grab that. No, it's not essential to do the manual save, because in Permadeath you've only got one save, but I don't know, just makes me feel good. We've got 10 more nanites. We're just going to grab the sodium. And of course, now to build the base computer, we're actually going to have to put in a. Okay, it's telling me I want to put it there, but right, we need 2 nanotubes. I should be able to make some nanotubes here. Yep. Okay, game, if you insist on. Okay. Now I think what I'm actually going to do, guys, this is a pretty good planet, and in some ways I'm going to be quite sentimental towards this being my starting system, so I think I might make this into my primary base, or my main base in the long term, and I'll keep this, so I'm not going to move it. Actually, there's a knowledge stone over there, I'm just only going to grab that. Yeah, we got to gather copper. And we got the get word for friend. Right, let's just save a little bit of space by life support 50%. Yes, thank you. I think what we're going to do is we're going to deploy the refiner there, so I don't have to carry it around with me. And of course, we're now going to use the scanner. There's a cargo drop there. There's a knowledge stone there. Wow, there's lots of knowledge stones around here. What I do want is copper, though. Sodium. Actually, let's just scan the plants while we're at it. Health. Sodium. That paraffinium on here, I could have repaired that my ship. That previous ship. Fleet route. Oh, come on. I'm absolutely sure this planet had copper on it. I mean, it'd be a bit annoying if it isn't. Yeah, copper. So we may have to go long range to find it. We've got here. Ah, copper deposit. There we are. 683 in that direction. Let's check, because we got the starship. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to send that to the starship. We don't have. Actually, what do I need for Yeah, we need chromic metal for that. So keep the iron batteries. I think we'll put that in there, and actually we don't need the ammunition at the moment because I can't fire it. And put the navigation data in there as well. That should give me some ability to gather resources. In fact, let's just use the iron back. Oh, of course, the iron batteries for that. Yeah. Right, off we go, guys. I'm just gonna have a quick check. Yeah, mining beam terrain manipulator. Star bramble there. Oh, cargo drop there. I certainly want to check the cargo drop out. There we are. Yeah, there are a few predators on this planet. And not after having a what we call it, means it can be I've lost the great because there's a retag there. Copper deposit. Certainly going to scan the creatures, make lots of cash. Yeah, I can see you. That's the Strider sausages. Yeah, there's two types of predators on this planet. Okay. Really want an advanced laser. Grab the oxygen while we're at it. Oops. There's also some buried technology up ahead as well. Here we are. Okay, what I'm just going to do is grab this. We'll try and get as much of this as possible. It looks like the terrain tool's a little bit not quite so, like you say, isn't draining out as fast as it used to do. Which is good, because at the moment I don't have that much in it. I don't really want to mine too much ferrite with the Sentinel hanging around. I see silicate powder then. What's silicate powder? Let's see. Oh, I got 195 copper. Let's see what these picture. Silicate powder, abundant mineral. An abundant mineral found within the geological strata of rocky worlds, easily extracted with the same processed. Okay. So is that just a random element that gets thrown up? Yeah. Okay, we'll take it. Even if it is just used to recharging the terrain manipulator. So I want to get as much of this as possible. Why am I getting... Okay. I think that's about it. Yes. Yeah, so we got 127 silicate powder. So fine. How much is that's going to use on this? May not be. Oh, you actually used all that up to just recharge the. Okay. If you don't try, you don't find out. Got a knowledge stone there, 265 away. What's we got here? Star bramble. Star bramble. A subterranean relic there. There's a knowledge stone that way. I suppose I don't want to wander too far for the moment. So maybe we'll just go for the resources. Oh, here we go. Just keep an eye out for hostiles. He's coming my way. Train manipulator. No. It was a bit stupid. Never mind. Grab that. Got a Corvax casing. That would be worth cash in such time as I can actually afford to cash it in. Just use that oxygen capsule up because it's taking up the space. Throw out a scan, see what's around. Yeah, I think compared to the other planet, oxygen may be a little bit of an issue, so we're going to have to keep an eye on the oxygen situation. Right, let's have a quick check. Life support. Yeah, so we can make one where we can make the life support cell gels. Right, what I'm going to do now, guys, is I suppose we kill the lash plants, we'll be okay. Right, guys, as I was about to say, I'm just going to make my way back to the ship, and we can then load up, make the portable, make some chromic metal, and that's heptoid wheat. That we can use that to replenish as well. Yeah, we're now full up, but we can just consume that. And what we can do is just use up some of the carbon. That'll give me a space. I've got a feeling, and what I'm going to have to do is get out and try and be a bit more mobile. Anyway, guys, I'll see you once I actually get back to the base and if something happens. Grab that. Another 500 credits. Another knowledge stone. We've got the get word for the. And we have gained another milestone. We are now a student. We have learned 8 words. I mean, the early progression with a lot of these milestones is very quick. Let's just get over to the refiner. Of course, we're just going to shove in the bit of copper. And of course, I think I'm going to use the condensed carbon. I'm just going to punch that out. And while let's just have a look. Get back to the ship. And what I want to do is transfer that to the starship, that to the starship, and that to the starship. That, and I probably could punch the oxygen to the starship as well. I thought I'd sent the oxygen. Oh, there it is there. Just grab some bit more carbon because we're going to need it to drive the what we call it, the refiner. I'm just going to grab this. Hopefully just try, see if we can overheat the beam a little bit. What someone said is that you want to get just in the, it's going to be quite difficult to get to the 90% point, isn't it? Yeah, you can definitely see it going faster when you get there. Anyway. What are you? Wait. Hello, handsome. Obviously, I can't interact with this one. I don't think you can interact with everything. I'm going to just take that out as well. I want to try and gather resources while there's no sentinels hanging around. That's advanced light. That's advanced. Okay. Right, we should now get some chromic metal from here. And I'm just going to put that in the exosuit. And it says we've now got to build a base computer. I think if I put the base claim here, you just see now there is a. Actually, we can use the camera, can't we? Let's just have a. This is a nice big flat area going that way, and we've got that's going into rocky bits. So my instinct is if we put the base computer about here, say about there, because we can't be, if we put it next to there, it'd be a bit easier to spot. There's habitable program initialized. Register the land as you own. Use the base computer with E. Move the terminal with there to choose a new site. I'm going to come here. Searching cartographic archives. Universal search reveals no prior claims to the site. Sonar test confirms site is suitable for construction. Claim base. So this is our first base, which is the next step in the in-game tutorial. And of course, because we're next to that, we've got a manual save, so we won't need to build it. Base online, search base computer archives, press E. Okay. Accessing log from previous user. Entry follows. Storm sweeping across, but construction supplies low. Depositing shelter plans while need to. Back soon. Extract plan. Okay, so we've got the ability to build wooden walls. So what we got here, base provides shelter for harsh planetary conditions, recharging your hazardous protection. As your base grows, it will grant access to many advanced constructor bases as a shelter from the next. So right, expand your base by owning new construction blueprints. Store the process items as you explore. We've now got decorative items, and we've got what we got here. Okay, so it's saying that we've navigate up. So it's left click to navigate up now. It used to be F. Okay. Right, what we're going to do is just build a very simple base just to keep the tutorial happy. I'm not sure if that is actually that's better. Right. I get a roof up. I don't think that's going to give me protection. Right guys, we're just going to jump into the ship. Oh. Right, what I'm going to do guys is I'm just going to sit the storm out, because there's no point taking unnecessary risks. And then what we'll do is, so what's the carbon situation? Yeah, we got a little bit of carbon. We'll probably need a bit more. Let's send the powder to the ship. We've still got some copper, oxygen, got some ferrite dust. Okay guys, the storm has passed, so let's just see if we can finish off this base. If we can get that in there. This is here. Okay. I don't think the snapping is as good as it used to be. I'm not feeling it for the snapping, to be honest. It doesn't seem to. Is that it? Can't see. Right, got a hole there and a hole there. And can we've now got a base set up, a very simple base, and it says base computer log updated, return to base computer. So we're just going to accessing log from previous user, additional archives recovered. Entry follows. Destruction largely a success. Recovered salvage data. Apologies guys, it's not a coughing fit. Construction largely a success. Recovered salvage data from nearby plans logged and scans indicate additional subterranean devices. Beginning research. We recorded these logs evidently with some success. We have access to their plans and perhaps I can learn from their efforts. Construction research unit. Portable blueprint research device. Construction. We've now got to make magnetized ferrite. Power your base to be able to advance technologies. Okay, thank you. I'm not sure I've got any pure ferrite left. We're going to need to get some ferrite dust. Let's just have a quick check. Yeah, I've used up everything I've got at the moment. So we're going to need to get some more ferrite dust and some crystal fragments. Okay guys, I think this is probably a good point to take a break because we've made a lot of progress we've now got our first little base we can take shelter in. We've got the base computer. I've got a feeling that the base tutorial is going to go on a little bit more than it normally does because it's saying that I need to make magnetized ferrite now, and we're going to keep pushing that forward. Of course, I've now got a ship upgrade which gives me a little bit more capacity than I had before, even though it's probably not the best ship. Wow, where's all my credits gone? I end up with nearly 100,000 credits, but we have got 189 nanites. What I will do off camera is go out and do a bit more freelance exploring and gather some ferrite because I don't want to mine any more ferrite around here because the local sentinel was getting a little bit upset with me. So I think what I'll probably do is just jump in the ship, go find a free takeoff and landing point and mine up some ferrite and other items here. Wow, just grab that as a quickie. But this is where I'll leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode, hope you found it interesting, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.